Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. On the last episode we left off on, we had just finished rebuilding the back end, putting the new Perfect Pass arms on, and putting the drive cup on for the Perfect Pass new shafts. So now we're going to take our chassis, go ahead and put this together, turn it around so you guys can see what we're doing. So basically just line these two up, find your screws, and get them started in there. Take off our 2.5 or 2 and put our 2.5 on, guys. I don't know if you guys noticed, these new MIP bits that I have are giving me a little trouble. They're like, tolerances are just perfectly tight, which is nice, but they're a little tight. Now all we need is some diff covers or some differential holders to come out from Perfect Pass with some nice big bearings in them, and I will be a happy camper. Alright, I'm going to slide our back support on. Ta-da! Put our flip this over and get our nut back in here. Put our nut back in right there. And we will put our screw in there. That one tightened down. And we'll do the same thing with this one. Get our nut put back in there. And we're going to put our screw in here. Okay, and we got these two, which I always, for some reason, have a very hard time. And lose the nuts. That's why I bought a new package. There's part number if you guys need those. And here's part number if you need the screws, because I like to replace those a lot because I'm a little rough with the tools. So put a nut down in there. Tighten that one down. Get another nut in this one. I like to use longer screws back there in the back. Than the factory ones. Alright guys, there's the back of the car. So that part is done. We're going to start working on our center section now, which would put our, where's our drive shaft at? What did I do with the drive shaft? Oh, it's right here behind me. So the V1 right there's stamped on the chassis for that block, and you'll see V1 stamped right there on the chassis for this one. So that since this is a V1, we'll be using those holes there. Make sure we got it in the right spot. We do. Alright, find our 2.5 millimeter. Get these started. Alright. Store all my parts in these little high-tech servo cases that I used to use. So they still come in handy for storing parts. Okay. Put my glasses on so I can see what I'm doing. Alright. Find a couple more of my screws here. And guys, I promise you, I am not the fastest guy in the world out there. That'd be James McCoy. Shout out to my brother. He is the one that taught me most everything I know. So I cannot take credit from a lot of the stuff I've learned from him, and we've learned from each other. I hope we've learned something from each other at this point. But James didn't get to be the first one to 200 by playing it safe. He pushed it, and then my son Mason K became the second person to ever hit 200 miles an hour with the Arrma Limitless. That is, not talking about the guy Castle, whatever his name is, Nick, whatever, from way back when. But all right, we got our 2 TP power motors in here, so that's what we're going to be running on this build. And the Trident shaft, dude, guys, I love it. You can't beat it. That Trident shaft saves you from dealing with these front ball bearings. Front ball bearings and the front differential right here on the back side where the drive cup is. I burned up one every single run before. And that's kind of one of the reasons I quit driving so much, is because $100 a tire, ball bearings, just constantly a fight to keep the cars running and going. And every time you make a 200 mile an hour pass, I wrecked 2 cars last year. You're what, $3,600 a car? I mean, I wiped them out, batteries and everything. There's a video of it flying off and hitting the tree, and it actually broke branches off that were that big. I mean, sliced right through them. The only thing that survived that was the scorched chassis. The aluminum parts bent on the chassis, but everything else is gone. The differentials were even broke out of the car. There was nothing hardly left to saving either one of those cars last year. So we're not going to work on the front end right now. We're going to work our way forwards from the back. So we are going to start working with the drive shaft. And wow, that's some really nice tolerances, Raz. Really, really nice. So we are going to start working on the spools, or the spool. And if you look at the spool, there's 2 spots in it. So you want to make sure that you get that appropriately lined up with everything that you have going on here. So tighten that sucker down all the way, And then we're going to go get this one on the side. Okay, there we go. Now we got to go get our ball bearings from our differential, which will be in our little box here of goodies. Let's find our differential, and let's get all our ball bearings off of this one. So we got our ball bearings, my spacers that we custom make. All right. Some scorched shaft pieces there. Still a very good product. All right. And I'm trying to decide what kind of center gear I want to run in this thing to start with. I think we'll just go with this one that we have laying here for now, which is a Saga. So this Saga here have a ball bearing. I don't remember how to line these up, guys. It'll probably take me a few tries to get everything all set up. So we have to take this off. Turn this bad boy around. Okay. And I am missing a part, so guys, I'll be back when I find that part. Okay guys, got this figured out now, so I'll take you over here with the camera, unplug you, I'm going to show you. So this is a PPS motor mount, and we used Raz's spacers and the factory red spacer over there to line up our gearing and everything. The one little problem I've ran into is the Allen head bolts are hitting the PPS motor mount. So we have an easy solution for that. We will take that out and grind that sucker down, and we'll go from there. It'll fix that problem. Alright, so basically we've got everything in here. You see our drive shaft has very little play in it. Very little play in it here. So that part of it is pretty much done. We're going to go ahead and throw our cap on here for now. Put our screws in here. Those are not the right screws. They will work. However, that would be the right one. Huh. Well, sometimes those will work, sometimes they won't, depending on not too long to hear it dig into the aluminum. So go back to the well, we'll have to find some more of those too, I guess. Alright guys, well, that's just part of the build. We'll get on to the front end, I guess, next. Take the front end apart, get the new arms on there, get the center differential rebuilt, and get our new front end piece for our Trident shaft in there, because the one from the Scorched doesn't work. But Scorched was very ahead of their time with that part. That was a game changer. So appreciate you guys watching, and we'll be back soon.